Hi. In this video, we are going to use .NET Report in Angular I/O as a component. We have two packages on NPM. One is the .NET Report package, which has the JavaScript libraries that are needed, and then .NET Report NG, which is basically the Angular component. So I'm just going to go ahead and start a new Angular app. I'm going to call it Angular App. Okay, so while it's doing this, I also want to show you the service code. I have .NET Report here running in a MVC project in Visual Studio. So this is the backend service API, which the Angular app will call. It also, of course, has the front-end views as well. I'm just going to run it to show you how it looks like. I have a breakpoint here. But just to show you, this is the service we're going to call from Angular. In MVC, this is the route, and this is how the report looks like, so it's setting the breakpoint as expected. This is obviously in Razor, but gives a good idea of how the front-end interface looks like. Angular app will have the same front-end. Okay, so let's go back to Angular. So this is done. I'm going to go into the folder. I will also install the .NET Report component npm package. And let's also install the .NET Report script package, and let's open it in VS Code. Okay, so this is just the standard default Angular app. Let's open the HTML just to check. This is all there. So let me go ahead and go to the terminal and run the app. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and build it and run it. And while it's building, since I already installed the new Get packages, you can see that the .NET report is going to be there in the Node Modules folder. We have the library and the component. So we will use the component in the app, and here is the name. Okay, it's listening on port 4200, so let me go and just open that in the browser. So, as expected, it is the default Angular application. Let's switch to the component. We're going to put the component tag in the main HTML file. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all of this. Okay, so right now, the error is that it doesn't know the component. So I'm going to go ahead and import it in Angular. Okay, and this will build, but let's check the browser for errors. So if I go to the browser, let's look at the inspector. The error is that the base URL is missing, so the base URL. The constructor requires the service URL. This would be my .NET Core app. Okay, let's save it and check now. Okay, so now it also requires HTTP client, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in as well. Okay, that builds. Okay, great. So now it's loading the HTML for the component, but obviously all of the styles and everything is missing. We need to include those libraries. If I go back to the npm package, we also have this Github repository for .NET Report Angular component, which is a working Angular app using .NET Report. If you clone it, it works as an example. If I go to the source, actually I think it's in angular.json, we need all of these styles and script references that .NET Report needs, and we will pull from the Node Modules Libraries folder. The .NET Report files are here as well, so I'm going to copy this from here and put it in my app. By default, it's just style.css, and there are no scripts included. So you just copy-paste this guy. After this, I'll actually have to rebuild it. Okay, compile is done. Let's go to the page now. Okay, great. So this looks much better. And that's pretty much it. If we go to the .NET Core service that's running, you can see the Angular app is calling it. I think we can remove the breakpoint now, as we've already confirmed the Angular app calling it. If I go back to the browser, looks great. And this is not in the MVC app. Port 4200 is the Angular app. And this other one's the MVC view. It's obviously exactly the same and works the same. You can create a new report, you can select your tables and columns, and I should be able to also run reports as well. So, for example, if I run this one, it looks pretty good. So that's pretty much it, and that's what it takes to install the .NET Report Angular component and start using it in your Angular app. Hope you found this video helpful. Reach out to us if you have any questions or issues. Thanks.